So I did a video on Thursday about the press conference that Dominic Alexander held in the Next Generation Network facility, and I gave my input and my take about it. But I missed a lot of things during the video, and I just want to like go deep dive and talk about it and break it down. So, as you know, he did this conference and he had a lot to say. And for someone who is an active minister and, trying to give all this, this talk about, rights and having a fair public trial, a fair public whatever, he doesn't make a lot of sense. There was a lot of errors that he made. He couldn't even say self-defense. He said defense, or I don't know what he said, but he didn't say it appropriately. There's a lot of things that he didn't know what the heck he was talking about. And he was very, very disrespectful of Jeff Metcalf, Austin's father, the young teenager boy who passed away, who got killed by Karmelo Anthony. And just the audacity for Dominique Alexander to say that, this man, the father, was disrespectful for showing up to the press conference. Like he had no business showing up there. And to me, it's just utterly disgusting. And then you call yourself a minister. And if anyone don't know who Dominique Alexander is, or they didn't watch the full press conference, I want to show you right here. This is him. This is the activist, minister. Okay, for someone you're supposed to give say good positive things, and you really didn't. You really didn't on Thursday. You were a very disgusting, despicable, and disgusting human being to say to this man that he was disrespectful for coming to the press conference, and then you say that you're a man of God and you're a minister, and then you're not clean yourself, buddy. Okay, you're not clean yourself. Like he has a criminal history of himself. You don't believe me? Let me pull it up for you right here. Okay, Dominique Alexander, criminal history. Okay, felon of injuring a child back in 2009. Okay, forging a check, leading police officer at high speed, stealing a car, falsifying claims, he all this stuff that he done, okay? And let me put his picture up again, okay? All this stuff that he done. And this is his past. Everyone has a past, okay? Everyone has a past. No one's perfect. But for you to chastise the father, make it seem like he just came there for some political gain, is despicable. He didn't even say anything. And he left in peace. He left in peace. After you call the cops on him to escort him out of that building, when he had every right to be there. His son died, like I said. But no, it's all about you and the family, the black victims, and you playing victim. When this kid, Karmelo Anthony, took another kid's life. Now, I don't know why the family is having him being the spokesperson and talking in behalf of Karmelo Anthony, because he seemed like he's not equipped to do this, okay? He is not Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, okay? Because if that was the case, those two gentlemen would have been there right now. They would have been there right now. They wouldn't have him. They would have been there right now, because at least those two gentlemen have experience of this. Dominique Alexander, no experience. You have no idea what he's talking about. I feel like he's just going with the flow. I feel like he's just trying to he is manipulating these families just to milk in some money, and also just to get his 15-minute of fame. Because no one didn't know who he was until this whole incident happened on April 2nd. Let's just be clear here. Let's just be honest. Okay? Yes, he has a network or an organization called Next Generation Network. Okay, I never heard of this man in my life. Never heard of him. Never. So he's looking for some 15-minute of fame or trying to get some money from the family. It's all about manipulation, trying to manipulate people gaslighting them, thinking that they're the victims here, and then Jeff Metcalf is the villain. The villain. And I understand why Jeff Metcalf wanted to go. He wanted to listen and hear what Dominic had to say, and I get that. But, he has to realize these people don't like him. Those people hate him. Okay? Those people can't stand him. Those people think that he is the enemy. He is the enemy. When it should be the other way around. Like, Jeff Metcalf did something to your family. Like, Jeff Metcalf did something to your son when your son killed his son. Isn't that the craziest thing? And if I was Jeff Metcalf, I would just stay away from them because they don't like you. They don't want to be near you. They think that you are enemy number one. Okay? That's how brainwashed and manipulated these people are, especially with Dominic, who's manipulating them and saying all these things, okay, which he clearly don't know what he's doing or what he's talking about. He really don't. He's just saying really outrageous and ridiculous things, especially in the press conference when he's upset with the school because the school wants to expel Karmelo Anthony. And he's going to take some legal action and going to do something about it. And I'm thinking to myself, you can't bring a weapon to a track meet. You can't bring a weapon in a track meet in a public in a property of a school. That's against the law. So why are you trying to like make it seem like that it's the school's fault? It's not the school's fault. They have to follow rules and regulations. That's why there's rules and manuals in every high school, in every college, every elementary school, whatever the case is. If you commit a crime or bring a weapon in a school, in a property, you got to go. You have to be expelled. That's like when there's school shooting, and then the suspect is alive. You think they're going to go back to the school and graduate? No, they're going to jail until the trial starts. It's the same thing. Rules apply in the same way, but different circumstances. So I don't understand why Dominic is getting upset with the school because they're going to expel him because they want him to graduate. The boy is on house arrest. Yes, he can graduate without walking to get his diploma. He can do it online. He can do that. But no, once you brought that weapon to the track meet, not and void. Okay, it doesn't matter if he was a 3.7 average student. It doesn't matter if he was in the football team. That is gone. Once you took that knife out of that backpack and stabbed that kid in the chest and he died in his brother's arms, that's it. Your life is over. That the 3.7 GPA average, the football team, that's done. That's out the window. You think that you're just going to go and graduate? No, you're going to be expelled, and rightfully so. So I don't understand why Dominic is getting upset. Like he want the school to wait for what? Wait, evidence? Hello, it said it on the police report. I'm not alleged. I did it. He confessed. He did it. Like more stuff is coming out. More of the truth is coming out. So how can you want this kid to graduate when he took another person's life? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So yes, the school is absolutely correct for expelling this Karmelo Anthony. What do you expect the school to do? Wait until they gather more information, then you're going to blame the school because of some type of weather? Let me read to you what they said. That just showed. That's what Dominic said. It just showed that the Franco ISD is trying to push off the blame. What blame? What blame are they pushing off? Which I'm going to show you the video of what he was saying in a press conference. But I just want you to read. I just want to read to you the manual that was in Frisco ISD. In fact, I decided to go to the Franco ISD handbook. And sure enough, it says right there that students should not possess or use a razor, a box cutter, a chain, or any other object that used in any way that's threaten or inflict body injury to another person, weapon, pocket knife, or any other small knife. Clearly, it says it in the handbook in the school, okay? The handbook also says that students may be expelled for murder or unlawful carrying on or about the student's person a location restricted knife or possession a prohibited weapon. Pretty sure that he qualified that. He qualified that. Okay, so he carried a knife. He had a knife in his back pocket. So I'm sorry, that qualified for everything that Karmelo did. Okay, he shouldn't brought it in a track meet. Okay, he shouldn't brought it on school grounds. Period. So what the handbook is saying is that's what they have to follow. So the school have every right to expel him. And the nerve of Dominic saying that they shouldn't. It's disgusting. And then he's saying that I don't understand the attention high surrounding this case. It seemed like ridiculous statement that these only make the whole thing worse, which it does. Make the whole situation worse. You're blaming the school. Like, why would you blame the school? The school don't have nothing to do with it. Why would you blame the weather? Why you can't let Karmelo Anthony take some accountability? He brought the weapon to the track meet, not AustinMetcalf. He's the one who brought it. He's the one who admit that it's not alleged. He did it. He's the one who did all these things. And now you're blaming the school? Like, who else are you going to blame? You're going to blame the 30 eyewitnesses and coaches for making a statement saying that they saw everything? You're going to blame them that it's a race thing now? What is it? Where's that accountability? Where? None. All he's doing is point, blame. It's disgusting. He's disgusting. At the end of the day, I really feel sorry for Karmelo Anthony's parents. I really do, for hiring this fool, because he has no idea what he's saying or doing, and it's making Karmelo Anthony. I keep saying it the other way around. Karmelo Anthony's case even worse. I don't even know how his defense attorney is feeling about this. Him opening his big fat mouth and saying all this stuff. It's just damaging his case. Not saying that his case is not damaged already, because this is a slam dunk. The boy is going to prison, plain and simple. But for him to just to open his mouth and to say all these crazy things. But you know what? You don't have to take my word for it. We're going to hear what what he has to say. Oops, wrong picture. So let's go. Oops, you don't need that anymore. Okay, his words, not mine.
And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother, and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation.
Pause. Who does he think he is? He doesn't have a right to tell Frisco, the high school, to wait. No, they have a job to do too. They have a job to do. If the evidence is presenting itself, and this kid rocked a weapon to the school or to a track meet, you're out. That's expel. You're expelled from the school. And then you want the faculty, the administrator, the principal, whoever to just pause and wait and have him graduate. That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. And he knows this too. For someone who seems intelligent, doesn't seem very bright. Okay, it's just common sense. It's just common sense. You bring a weapon to school, you're gone. You shoot up a school, you're gone. You don't go back to the school and try to and then want them to graduate. You're gone. And for him to think that, oh, he brought a knife at the track meet, so let's just give him a hall pass and let him graduate. No, that's out the window. The grade point average, that's out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I said, non and void. He should have thought about that before he took another kid's life. Continuing.
But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation.
That's it.
That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustees, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media.
Now he's a weather reporter. What is he talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, he is so ignorant and dumb. What the hell is he talking about? Again, I really feel sorry for the parents. I really feel sorry for Karmelo from at this aspect, because this man don't know what the hell he's talking about. He sounds very dumb. Really dumb, you guys.
Ask your journalist, your weather journalist, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD.
Oh, what are they going to do? They're going to sue the school? They're going to sue the school because there's a manual saying that you're not allowed to bring any weapon in any school property, any track meet, any of that. So what's their goal? I'm very curious in the next coming days that this man is what he's going to do. He sounds really stupid and foolish. Are you going to sue the school because the school expelled him and he's not going to graduate? The man committed murder. He committed a crime, and now you want the school to reward him. Now you're crying a river and then want to take action because of that, because the school is doing what a school should do. If you do a crime and if you did something that you're not supposed to do in a school property, you have to be expelled. You have to go. Again, no accountability, nothing whatsoever. This man is disgusting.
Administration office, because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved.
Again, getting involved in what? They're not getting involved in anything. I haven't seen any press conference of the school. I haven't heard any teacher saying anything or giving their input. They're just doing their job. They're just doing their job by removing this kid and expelling him because he brought a weapon to the school, to the track meet. It's against the law. I don't think he read the handbook. I really don't think so, because if he did, he wouldn't be saying all this stuff. Again, not very intelligent. He hasn't done none of his research at all. He's just saying all these crazy things, and he's looking real foolish right now
in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent.
Obviously.
I know you know this is all law. It's because if anybody tells you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about them. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors.
Obviously.
So
sense.
Stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to.
Okay. Stop right there. Anyway, they should fire this man. They should fire him because he has no idea what he's doing. He's hurting this situation, okay? Like I said, this was a great PR move to get in front of this, because what they're trying to do is have some, if it does go to trial, let's say hypothetically speaking, it goes to trial. This press conference, whatever, they're trying to make people feel sorry for them, okay? They're trying to convince, when there is a juror, to be on their side. That Karmelo Anthony acted this as self-defense. He didn't do anything wrong. He was touched, and he had to stab Austin in the chest because he was protecting himself. You know, they're trying to tank this juror. I mean, this trial, if it does go to trial. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. And and I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I just have common sense and I just read. And also, I have two lawyer friends who explain to me the details, not the details, but what goes behind a trial. It takes one person, you guys, one person to say, I believe this kid is innocent, and then the rest say that he's not guilty. Mistrial, a hung juror. That's it, and then he's acquitted, done, gone, until they do another retrial. It takes one person, okay? So do I think that they're trying to tank this? Yes, because they're trying to get sympathy. They're trying to get people to be on their side because of what their son did, and there's no accountability. But I don't think anyone's going to fall for it. I just hope not. I just hope and pray it does not go to trial. Like I keep saying, they should take a plea deal, because it's going to be very, very hard to prove that this was self-defense. And like I said, I'm not a lawyer. What do I know? But I'm going to let you watch two attorneys who said that this is not looking good for Karmelo Anthony. And I kept saying that. This is not looking good for him. They might as well take the plea deal. Take the plea deal. Because if it goes to trial, your defense attorney has to prove with a shadow of a doubt that he was trying to protect himself, that his life was in danger, to the point that he stabbed Austin in the chest. He has to prove that. Not Karmelo, excuse me. His defense attorney has to prove that. Now, before I show you this video, now, like I said in the beginning of this video about Dominique Alexander, the activist minister, he has no shame, okay? For someone, who's, say, proclaims, I don't know if he proclaims, let me not put words in his mouth. For someone who's a minister, you would think that he's a godly person, a man of faith, a man that loves God and put God first. And when I saw that video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of that building during that press conference on Thursday, and I'm going to keep saying it, it was disgusting. It was just not right. It was completely wrong. A grieving father who lost his son on April 2nd, and you show no empathy, none of that, no kindness, no respect, not even for a father who's mourning the loss of his son because another kid, Karmelo Anthony, killed him, and proclaiming that it's self-defense. When Jeff Metcalf, in the beginning, on April 2nd, when he did his first interview and spoke to the reporter and forgave Karmelo Anthony, forgave him right there and then, that is humble. That is being humble and just letting God take care of everything, okay? Not having that hatred in your heart. But this man had so much hatred for Jeff Metcalf that you couldn't even let him stay in the press conference. This man forgave Karmelo Anthony for him because this kid took his son. He's no longer on this earth. And you have no compassion of that. None whatsoever. You couldn't shook his hand. You didn't have him come up in a podium and unite together, in spite of what happened, the tragedy of AustinMetcalf, none of that. You just kicked him out. Like he was the enemy. Like he was the issue. Like he was a devil. Disgusting. I'm going to show you the video. Pull up right now.
We haven't really had a chance to talk to you about this. You had mentioned a few times that you had forgiven the suspect for what
correct.
He did.
I do.
But we just informed you about these documents. And
that doesn't change anything. This has to do with me and God. God teaches us in the Bible. He talks about forgiveness. He also talks about revenge. Not for me to seek. God will take care of it.
Amen. Amen. He forgave. And God even says it. Don't seek revenge. Wait on, I see all, I hear all. Wait on me, I will come. The revenge is mine. You have no business of seeking revenge. He will take care of it. And sure enough, God will take care of it. The revenge is his because you should not take a life. I keep saying, it says in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. What the Karmelo Anthony did, he killed someone. He killed someone. And for the audacity for Dominique not letting that man stay, escorting him out like he was some criminal, like he's the one that killed the Anthony's family member. Despicable, disgusting person. And then we should feel sorry for these people? No, I don't. Someone's life is taken. Someone's life is gone. That kid is never coming back. And there's no ownership. There's nothing like that. But you beat this man down, the father who lost his son, saying that he's disrespectful, that he's just only doing this for the media and stuff like that. Like, how disgusting are you? Disgusting. Like, he has no shame. And you call yourself a minister? You call yourself a minister? You wait and see. God is taking care of everything. He sees it all. And this is why the Metcalf have not said a word. Okay? Not seeking revenge, nothing like that. That the mom and the brother, they did one interview on Fox, and then the father as well, and that's it. After that, I haven't heard anything from the family. Nothing. But they're being attacked in their homes. Someone called 911 saying that something happened in their home. You think they're not getting it too? They are. They're just as a victim. But no, they paint it to seem like nothing. They're not doing anything wrong. Like nothing happened to them. They just lost their son. They lost. Hunter lost a brother. That a brother's never coming back. But they're the bad people. They're the white evil people. They can't do no wrong because some black folks are just only thinking about slavery. This they deserve what was coming to them. AustinMetcalf deserved this. But if it was the other way around, forget it. They would have condemned them. They would have been in their house. It would have been an outrage if the roles were reversed. You know it, and I know it. Plain and simple. And it doesn't make it right. It's not right. Murder is murder. Doesn't matter the color of your skin or what you look like. You committed a crime, you got to do the time. You got to take responsibility of your actions. You can't just, have people just be on your side and thinking that you did the right and righteous thing. You did not. You confess. You said you did it because he touched you. Like I said, they should take the plea deal. They should. But again, I'm not a lawyer. So, I didn't go to law school. I'm not a cop. I'm not a detective. I just report what I report and give my perspective and give my input. But I'm going to let you hear what the attorneys are saying in regards to this case. Like I said, don't take my word for it, but let's go. Oops, sorry.
Self-defense in Texas because Texas is a stand-your-ground state. This is what he had to say about that.
In order for Karmelo to prevail on a self-defense defense, he has to establish that he reasonably feared for his life. And, that's a steep hill to climb given the facts that I've heard so far, but that's the standard here in Texas. It is going to be incredibly difficult for Karmelo's defense team to establish that Austin, the 17-year-old who wanted Karmelo out of his tent, represented a deadly threat or even serious bodily harm. Now, again, we don't know what was said. We don't know what was threatened.
That's true.
But what Karmelo said was that he was going to put his hands on me.
Right.
That's not he was going to kill me.
Exactly.
That's not. I thought he was seriously going to hurt me. It was an offensive touching. Anyway, all he described was the potential for an offensive touching, which is not going to be enough without more. And the evidence is still coming in.
Something like this that just evolved and snowballed, that's what it seems like to me, snowballed over something that may have just been some high school students getting into some type of disagreement. And so the issue is that once that disagreement again begins to snowball, what is appropriate for self-defense? Whenever we're into just an oral disagreement, then that transfers over to a physical disagreement. How does it transfer then to a knife? And so under Texas law, you have to provide equal or lesser value, generally, so force, whenever we're talking about self-defense. Is it reasonable and is it proportionate to that of what the perpetrator initiated before? Because in this situation, the suspect is saying he told the other person, pretty much, don't touch me. And that person did, in fact, touch him, and then he pulled out a knife. So, yes, maybe there was some issues there where we talked about physical altercations, but that doesn't give you the right or the responsibility to respond back with a knife. It has to be reasonable and proportionate.
That's well said. Well, it's coming from two lawyers, not me. I couldn't agree even more, okay? It doesn't give you the right if someone push you or shove you, and you take a knife or a gun and you kill them. It doesn't. That's not self-defense. That's not you're afraid for your life. It's not like someone broke in to your home with your wife and children and someone's trying to do harm against your family. That's different circumstances. Someone breaking into your home and try to kill you or your family, then you have to have every right to protect yourself and your home. That is self-defense. Again, I'm not a lawyer. What the hell do I know? I'm just a person who's just doing a YouTube video and just giving my perspective and my opinion. What the hell do I know? Again, I was told I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a cop, I'm not this, but hey, what do I know? Anyway, you heard it from those two lawyers. It's going to be hard for the self-defense of Karmelo Anthony to prove that it was self-defense, that he was fearful for his life, that Austin was trying to kill him or try to hurt him. Like I said, take the plea deal. Take it, because it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And I will be very, very shocked, you guys, that if this goes to trial. I really would, because it's too much damning evidence to support the fact that Karmelo Anthony killed Austin. It's too many eyewitnesses, the police report, the statement, everything. They're talking about some video. I don't know if that's true or not, so I'm not going to report it. But there is word on the street that there's a video of the whole incident that happened. I'm not quite sure. And if it was true, that man, Dominique Alexander, he would have said something. He would have presented and say, we demand to see the footage of the video. He didn't say anything like that. So maybe it's going to hurt his case, you know? And I don't see any other activists trying to be in this case. You don't see, what's his name, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, what was that, that Crump attorney? I forgot his first name. I'm throwing a blank here. None of that. You only see him. Because they know. They have common sense. They know that this is not a win-win case. Okay? The kid committed murder. Point blank, period. I don't care how many ways you say it. He committed murder. Again, he has to do the time. So like I said, take the plea deal. Okay? If it goes to trial, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good for Karmelo Anthony and his family. They think that it is going to go off in the sunset and then his life is going to be back to normal, back to the way it used to be. No. Once he made that decision to grab that knife in his backpack and ultimately killed AustinMetcalf, your life was finished and over. And now you're trying to use the self-defense thing because that will help you. Not in Texas. I'm sorry. And I read you guys the penal code in Texas, and you heard it from those other two attorneys. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But again, it's not my law. It's Texas law. But anyway, let me know what you think about this video, and if you like it, please share, like, and subscribe. And I really appreciate each and one of you subscribing to this video and listening to what I have to say, whether you agree with me or not. It's okay. It's okay. We can all agree to disagree as long as we respect one another and listen to our point of views and give each other feedback and what you think. And I care about what you think as well. I may not agree with you, but I respect it. I respect your feedback. I respect your comments. So just please comment. You're not going to hurt my feelings because, that's what we're here for. We're here to have a healthy debate, to go back and forth and get different perspective of everything what's been going on with this case. And I'm definitely following up in this case, and I'm going to be glued on this situation, okay? You're not going to get rid of me that easy, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. That's it, and I will see you guys next time.